What is good, Ninja? OG over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Today, we've got some great information for you guys, but please make sure you check out my channel. We had a lot of videos go up in the past couple days, so please make sure you check that out if you missed it. Also, my Metroid Samus Returns preview as well. That went up yesterday. That game is a blast to play, so check out my preview just in case you're interested, and of course, no spoilers. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the news. Ubisoft aims to bring new experiences to new hardware like the Nintendo Switch. So this is coming from the CEO of Ubisoft, and here's what he had to say. Each time when we go early on a new machine, on new hardware, we learn new things or we create new things. You know, Just Dance really came with the Wii. The Rabbids also happened with the Wii. Rayman came back with the Wii U, for example. Each time you have the ability to come up with something that people are not expecting, and the players want to try new things on the new machine. So that's why very often we take advantage of those new machines and new technologies to bring back something that we had before or bring a new experience. So Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is definitely fitting into that mold, and that's kind of where this came from. And honestly, I think out of everything that they've brought back as far as new ideas go, this is probably the best thing that they've done. Now, Ubisoft has done a number of different things, and it wasn't just that as far as what he talked about when it comes to Rabbids, when it came to Rayman coming back, or even Just Dance. They also brought Red Steel and Red Steel 2 as well, which was a new type of experience on the Wii. So it wasn't just those, plus Zombie U. They've done a number of experiments when it comes to Nintendo's hardware within the past 2 generations, and Ubisoft is very good at that. And usually at the launch of a system, they might have a really solid game or something that people really take to. I know the original Rabbids, as far as that goes, that was a good mini game collection for what it was back then. And even something like Zombie U, while not getting the highest scores, it still had its cult following of fans out there that loved the game. And then also with Rayman coming back to the Wii U, that was kind of botched somewhat, but at the same time, it was still an amazing game. Now, they didn't do too many things as far as brand new, but the gameplay was just so polished that you just had to sit there and say, wow, this is an amazing experience, probably one of the best platformers that I've ever played. And then you're looking at Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which does a lot of things that are new, adds in a lot of different wrinkles and elements that you haven't seen really in Mario games before. Even in the Mario RPG titles, you really haven't seen that. So it's pretty cool to just see what they're doing, especially with this Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And if it goes as well as I think, well, I think we're going to be getting an awesome sequel, probably with some online multiplayer. I think that would be dope. Maybe if you increase the party size by 1 and get some bigger maps, I think they can really do things big and make some new gameplay elements if they were able to get a sequel in that game going. But I absolutely love it. I think over the course of the years, Ubisoft has been doing some great things on Nintendo's hardware. It hasn't always ended the way that you like it to end, for example, on the Wii U, but I just don't feel that after a few different titles, they didn't do enough new on the Wii U either. They really just said, okay, well, let's just bring over this PS3, 360, PS4, Xbox One game, and let's hope it sells, and then it doesn't run as good, and there's all sorts of issues, whereas when they were doing stuff like Zombie U and Rayman, those games did better. So I'm hoping that they bring over experiences like that than just sitting there and saying, okay, well, Assassin's Creed's here, so we get Assassin's Creed there. I would like to see some new stuff from them. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is awesome. It's a completely Ubisoft game. It's just licensing Nintendo characters. More crossovers or maybe their take on some other stuff would be great, because I think that's the best way for them to grow the relationship and foster good sales. And then potentially we can get some other stuff as well, man. But I think overall, I think they did a great job with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other new experiences that they're bringing to the Nintendo Switch going forward in the future. Alright, and moving on to the next article here, we do have a brand new character reveal for Fire Emblem Warriors on the Nintendo Switch and the new Nintendo 3DS. So Koei Tecmo's Team Ninja leader Yosuke Hayashi has confirmed another playable character for Fire Emblem Warriors. At today's Famitsu special live stream on celebrating their 1500th magazine issue, Hayashi made a world premiere reveal for Elise, the youngest child in the Kingdom of Nord and Fire Emblem Fates. Is confirmed in the game's character roster. Elise will use magic while being mounted on a horse, which would make her moveset similar to her brother Leo, but she will have different, more cutesy themed special attacks. Now, Fire Emblem Warriors will be launching on the Nintendo Switch in addition to the new Nintendo 3DS on September 28th in Japan and October 20th in North America and in Europe. Hayashi also assured in the stream that the game is going gold and should not get any delay. So basically, they wrapped up all of the production and they're just really trying to ship the game out there to where it can be mass produced. So that's awesome. And of course, I'll be covering the game all the way up until launch in addition to the Japanese launch, and I just really want to see if that Japanese launch, will it have the English voices on there? I really hope it does, so I can play the game early for you guys, because although 1 month isn't a long time, it would be great if I can just get it and it has English voices, but I doubt that it will, since they are taking that extra month. Although I will say this, September is absolutely packed for Nintendo Switch games. We are getting so many different titles. We are getting Pokken Tournament DX. We're also getting Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Rayman Legends Definitive Edition is coming out then. Lego Worlds. I think even FIFA? I think FIFA's coming out then as well. So there are just a number of games coming out in September. It's really packed with third-party titles. So maybe it was a good thing that it's not coming out then, because I have to be playing Pokken. I have to be playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So man, there's a lot of stuff. And Japan didn't get Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle on late August like we did. They're getting that next year. They're getting that title. So they completely pushed that title out of the calendar year. So that's really interesting. So I can understand why they get it a little bit earlier. Although they can probably get the game out in September as well. I just think Nintendo of America was just like, hey, that's too many games. We kind of want to see some of these third-party titles do better. So let's move this one over to October and get it a better release window in terms of content, because September is packed. That's going to definitely be good for third-party developers, because they're really going to have the month to sell their games. I mean, Pokken Tournament, that is Nintendo IP as far as the Pokemon, but that's still Bandai Namco that's doing that. Nintendo's publishing, but Bandai Namco developed the game, so they're going to want to definitely have some sales. In addition to Lego Worlds, I think there's going to be people that want to buy that game, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse, that's also a game that people are looking forward to playing. So there's a lot of content, man, and even like Rayman Legends Definitive Edition, even though it's like the 20th re-release of that game. Either way, it's still going to be dope. It's still going to be fun to play, especially if you're picking it up or you've never played the game, because it's not like that game sold like 20 million copies or anything like that. So let me know what you guys think about all this announcements here when it comes to Fire Emblem Warriors, the game pretty much going gold or near that, or they're pretty much wrapping up. It's done. There's not going to be any delays. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the last article here, we're going to get to one of the funniest companies out there that kind of just jumps the gun when they're trying to announce things and then has to backtrack because the big bosses tell them to stop and like, oh, no, say something else. So it's really funny. It's absolutely funny with Square Enix, but we're going to talk about this. So Square Enix has given us an update on Final Fantasy 15 for the Nintendo Switch tease that went down a little bit ago, and as you guys know, I said that, hey, they basically confirmed it, because the way that they teased it, it looked like, yes, they were definitely working on something. But let's get into this update and then my own thoughts on it. So Square Enix has clarified Final Fantasy 15 Switch tease, discussing engine tests, nothing officially decided yet. So the following comes from Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata. So he says nothing has been decided yet. The development team is testing out what kind of specs the Switch can provide. They tested the Luminous engine, the engine powering Final Fantasy 15 on the Nintendo Switch. The team figured out that at this point in time, the team can't bring the most out of the engine on the Nintendo Switch. For the time being, they stopped there, but they're still looking into the Nintendo Switch to see what they can do on it. The team did not do any specific optimizations to the Luminous engine for the Nintendo Switch, so they just brought it over wholesale and said, it's not really running as well, but they didn't do any optimizations in order to get the engine running better, according to him. Now moving on here, all they did was load it in to see how it would perform, so basically that right there. They also made tests on Unity and Unreal Engine 4, and they noticed that those ran well on the Nintendo Switch. The team is at a point in which they understand the technical specifications of the Nintendo Switch. They will continue to look into what they can do for the platform. If they're going to release something for the Nintendo Switch, they want to make sure that they'll capitalize on the platform's characteristics. So this is a very interesting thing, because really what Square Enix said beforehand is like, hey, we're teasing something and rhymes with Switch, and people kind of went crazy with that. People went crazy with the Pocket Edition. People went crazy with Final Fantasy 15. Heck, I said they basically confirmed it, because pretty much from that interview, it looked, yeah, they're basically confirming something on there. But he did detail it more. But I will say this, Square Enix, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're liars, but man, they really jump the gun when it comes to things. Like, they want to announce stuff. They've been big supporters of the Nintendo Switch pretty much since day one. They've had content on there and continuing to release new content, especially in Japan. And now he's saying, hey, we're doing all these tests. We're testing out different stuff. This is what's going to work. Maybe this won't work. But it says right there, man, like, it didn't really bring it over, but maybe with some optimizations, they can bring over the Luminous engine over to the Nintendo Switch. They didn't test out any ones, but they did see that Unreal Engine 4 and in addition to Unity worked a lot better, which is true. A lot of developers are using Unity, and a lot of developers are using Unreal Engine 4 for their games, so it'll be interesting. Would they actually want to rebuild Final Fantasy 15 in Unreal Engine 4 for the Nintendo Switch? That would be insane if they would do that. I mean, I would hope that they would do that. They spent the time building the game for the PS4 and Xbox One. They're spending a lot of time building the game for the PC specifically, so why wouldn't they spend the time to build the game for the Nintendo Switch, especially when you could get a good audience? I think if they build the game for the Switch, they play on its strengths, they really market the portability aspect, they add in some killer incentives or extras to pick it up, I think people will. Heck, people are going to buy Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch. I think that's going to do well, and that game really is really old at this point. Now, I know that the engine that they're probably using it on, maybe it's more compatible, but Unreal Engine 4, if they were able to build that over. So basically what I'm saying is that probably Bethesda had an easier time porting over the vanilla engine, whatever Skyrim Remastered is running on. They had a better time doing that than having to actually rebuild a whole game for Unreal Engine 4, because I know that would be a huge task for them because the game runs on Luminous Engine, not Unreal Engine 4. But if they were able to do that, like if they were able to rebuild the game on that and really customize it and tune it for the Nintendo Switch and have Final Fantasy 15, the Nintendo Switch edition, it might take a while, but if they worked on it, I think that could be a really big advantage. Not only that, but it can fix a lot of the issues with the game. I mean, if you got it running more efficiently on Unreal Engine 4 over what you had originally, which the Luminous engine, I mean, I think the Luminous engine is great, but Final Fantasy 15 maybe it's ambitious or whatever the case is. I think Unreal Engine 4 can produce some beautiful graphics. It can produce great looking locations and areas, and if you had a Nintendo Switch version of that built the ground up for it, imagine what they can do. They can fix a lot of the problems that that game had. Now, obviously that is a lot of work, but they do that type of work for PS4 and Xbox One. So I know what people are already going to be saying in the comment section and stuff. Well, why would they do that? Well, they need to be able to just port it over. But they do that heavy work for other systems. It would be great to see a developer do that heavy work for the Nintendo Switch and not just worry about, okay, well, what can we port the easiest, or what's the easy way out of doing something for this system. I think the gamers would really embrace that and say, yo, we got a brand new customized version for us. We're going to pick this one up. So I know it's far-fetched. I know that I'm kind of going off into the speculation phase. I'm not saying that they're going to do that. I'm just really talking about what I would like to see in the game. That's just my personal belief as far as it. Fine. I mean, if you can't get Luminous running as well as it could be and all that, you test it out Unreal Engine 4, build the game for Unreal Engine 4 and put it out on the Nintendo Switch and really market it and get those sales that you didn't get in Japan. Get those sales there. You can sell the game. It will sell. By the time it's ready, the Nintendo Switch is going to have a far bigger fan base, you know, than it has right now. So by the time that comes out and it's a customized, optimized version of Final Fantasy 15 for the Nintendo Switch, maybe built in Unreal Engine 4, which is a completely capable engine, I mean, that could be huge. That can be huge for the franchise. It can be huge for fixing the issues. So that's my thought on it, guys. I know that might not be the most popular opinion, but I think a lot of Nintendo Switch fans would respect Square Enix a lot if they did that. And Dragon Quest 11 is coming to Nintendo Switch with Unreal Engine 4, so we'll see what they do. Obviously, nothing is decided like they said, but I do feel that they're being a little bit coy with what they're saying there. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given that tease in the first place. Square Enix did the same thing with Dragon Quest 11 on the Nintendo Switch. They said, oh, it's announced, yeah, we're doing something. And then they said, oh no, we're only considering it. And then they went back afterwards and then officially announced it. And that's kind of what I see what they're doing right here, and people have already forgot. Oh, they really teased something, like something's coming. Oh, well, nothing's decided yet. So I don't really believe them when they say that there's not really anything's decided. I think they're really working on something. I think it's really just going to be like a wait and see game, but I do feel that they could be testing something out and they're a little bit further along than they're saying, but hey, it is what it is. That's my personal opinion based on what happened with Dragon Quest 11. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier and be entered to win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat and $10 prize each month tournaments from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.